All right, everyone. Good Tuesday morning, game day Tuesday, and looking like a funeral. That's what it kind of feels like today. I can't lie. Going into this game, going into this situation, knowing what we're up against, knowing the scenario, it feels like it's time for the final nail to be driven into this coffin and for us to just have the funeral for the 2021 Seahawks. We've held on to life for quite some time. Over and over again, I have called games must-win games if you want to keep the season alive, and over again, despite us losing those games, I find myself looking at things and going, you know what, if we win this game and that game, maybe must win is a little bit of a strong word. But now we are really here. Now we are truly at the point where you better win out. Winning out is the only way. And frankly, to be perfectly honest, at this point, with the way things are going in some of these other games, with the way things are going in the conference, it might not be enough. In fact, there's a very good chance it won't be enough. To be perfectly honest, the way I'm seeing things break out right now, winning out would not even be enough. So the must-win game happened a few weeks ago in Washington. It happened a few weeks before that against the Saints, the Steelers, the Titans, whatever game you want to point to as the game that we should have won, the game that we let go, the game that we had an opportunity to take and couldn't do it. Whatever game that might be, or maybe multiple games, the moment's probably already passed. And with all the COVID stuff that's going on, which we still don't know the resolution to, I will be making a video later today if anything changes. A lot of people are not even really that focused on the game. They're thinking about who are we even going to have? What is the league going to do if things spiral into a bad state? What are we dealing with here? But nevertheless, with the information that we have at this moment and the rosters that we know these teams have and the scenarios, etc., etc., I'm going to do the best I can to talk about this one. And obviously it doesn't look good. Whether or not we have anything to play for is honestly pretty arguable. But I'm going to talk about this one. I'm going to talk about it knowing that this team is going to go out there tonight trying to win, doing everything they can to get a win, and I'm going to judge them as such. So, offensively, we don't know if we're going to have the guy who may be our best player so far this year on offense, Tyler Lockett. That's huge. He's a 1,000-yard receiver this year. He's probably been our best overall player on offense, which in some ways is kind of a... It's not really that positive of a thing. Because for this team to really be successful and for this offense to be super successful, we all understand that we need Wilson to be the guy. But he got hurt. He had 3 bad games because he came back too early, whatever. That's more of a problem than anything. But nevertheless, Lockett is playing great for us, and we may now not have him. And I don't see how you win this game without the passing attack going off. I don't see how you're competitive in this game without the passing attack going off. I want to run the ball, some, but we don't really have the running backs to do that. Like Collins, as far as we know, could be out as well. Penny, I like Penny. I think he's talented, but we all understand that we can't depend on him and he could get hurt at any time. I think Adrian Peterson is still nursing an injury from the 49ers game. I don't know what we're going to have there. We know we don't have Travis Homer. DJ Dallas, we don't feel comfortable playing that much, clearly. So, I do want to run the ball a little bit just because that right side of the line with Curhan and Gabe looks pretty good in run blocking right now. They had a great game against Houston. But that's ultimately not really... That's not what's going to win you this game. That's not going to be the driving force behind a big offensive output. Because this Rams defense, although we'll see if they have guys like Sebastian Joseph Day, And I think Von Miller is still on the COVID list. He might have come off. I don't know. It's been a big swirl of positive and negative tests the last couple days. But the Rams' defense is better against the run than they are against the pass. So you got to make some plays against that secondary. You got to hold up in pass protection. And straight up, I like Jake Curhan, but the main problem I'm seeing right now is that you're going to have him starting at right tackle against this Rams pass rush. Leonard Floyd and possibly some Von Miller as well, depending on how much they move their guys around. But that's a recipe for disaster. I like Curhan. I appreciate what he's done so far over the mostly over the last 2 games. But if he tries to protect Wilson against those 2 guys, he will lose. And I think that's the biggest obstacle right now to me believing that we have a shot here. No Lockett, possibly, and no Shell. But that being said, I do believe that we might have something going on that will allow us to prevent Donald from completely wrecking this game. You got to remember that Aaron Donald did not completely destroy us in the last game we played. It seems like we're finally starting to get something going there in terms of being able to prevent him from being the single reason why we lose. But the problem is, what are you going to do about the other guys? Leonard Floyd, Von Miller. I don't see a lot of great solutions right now because we all know what Dwayne Brown's doing on the left side, and we certainly know what Curhan is likely to do on the right side. So it's just a really crappy situation for this offense. I want to pass the ball against that Rams defense that is, by the way, not that good this year. But I understand that the offensive line is not really built to allow that right now. And I know if we don't have Lockett, that's our best weapon out there. So you got to see the only way, because like I said, going to be hard to run the ball. We don't have running backs, really. We don't. Hopefully we can get Collins back just so we can have somebody, but it's not like Collins is having a great year anyway. So I think that the only way is a lot of quick passes. Get the ball out of your hands quickly. Move the pocket, do some play action rollouts, buy time for Wilson in ways that are not just him running around back there frantically trying to evade 3 guys. Do it in a controlled manner. I think that's the only way you're going to have success on offense in this game. You got to find a way to get the ball out of his hands quickly. A lot of screens, check downs, dump offs, things like that. And I've seen us show signs of being able to accomplish those sorts of things in previous games. The Vikings, the 49ers. But I've also seen some signs that we're still struggling in that regard. So this is going to be a crucial game for determining where we go with this team and this coaching staff this offseason. If I see Wilson taking 7-step dropbacks constantly in this game and getting murdered by the pass rush, then that's going to tell me there was something wrong in our process of preparing for this game. Either Pete didn't allow it to happen, Waldron didn't allow it to happen, Wilson wouldn't execute it, whatever. Something went wrong if we go out there playing the way we did against Houston, where Wilson was going for shot plays. I love shot plays, but you're not really going to have time for shot plays against this team. And we know that. We've been here before. So really want to see that. And as for the defense, look, teams right now, they know that Cooper Kupp's getting the ball. They know. And they can't do anything to stop it. So I don't know what chance we have. Obviously, we don't have DJ Reed, which is a significant loss. Kerry Hyder was playing passable football, I guess. I don't know how much we lose if we play Collier and Kimdichie instead of Hyder, but obviously you'd rather have him than not have him. But for the moment, as far as I know, as of this recording, we are otherwise in decent shape, other than the things we already knew about, right? Like Jamal Adams. So I'm really going to be interested to see how we choose to play Cooper Kupp, who is on pace to break franchise records for the Rams. And if you watch that Cardinals game, you can see They find creative ways to get him the ball that the opposing defense can't really do anything about. And obviously OBJ's going to be good to go in this game, so that's a problem for this roster. And bottom line is this. Pete Carroll has been trying for the last 4 years to find a way to slow this Rams team. The Rams are the Sean McVay Rams are the reason why we blew this up after 2017, because they killed us by 5 touchdowns and very nearly got Pete Carroll to retire, but he decided to stick around, and we did a soft reboot, kind of blew it up, decided to build around Wilson, Lockett, and Wagner, and I guess Dwayne Brown. And ever since then, we've been trying to find a way to slow the Rams, and mixed results have abounded since. 2018, defense wasn't able to stop the Rams. 2019, gave up, God, I think it was like 28.5 points a game across 2 matchups. And then last year, you finally had a little bit of a breakthrough. You were able to limit the Rams' offense in 3 games last year. 3 games. You limited the Rams on offense, and it seemed like we were there. And then they got a better quarterback. And while it's really difficult to make a complete determination after 1 game, that first game, I mean, you played okay. You did some things okay. I'm not... They were not the reason why we lost. We lost that game because the offense sucked more than anything, but you still gave up 450 yards. You still gave up easy drives at the end of the game when we were trying to fight our way back in. So, bottom line is, Carroll needs to show me these last 4 years were worth something in building this team that would be able to stop the Rams. That, to me, is what it's all about, because this offseason, assuming things end the way they look like they're going to end, which at this point I feel very comfortable guessing is going to be the case, we are going to have to make some difficult decisions. And while I will not be moved off my position that Carroll needs to go, that Carroll is a problem, and I will go into that much more in future videos. I will talk about that a lot more after the season ends. You gotta show me that you didn't waste these last 4 years trying to build a defense that could handle a team like the Rams, and then we go out there in that game and just, in this game to save the season, or possibly save the season, and get boat raced. I know they got a better quarterback. I don't care. It's not like they traded for Drew Brees. They didn't acquire Tom Brady. They didn't acquire Johnny Unitas. They acquired Matt Stafford. He's good, but he's not great. He's got problems. So if that upgrade is all it took to completely undo all the progress you showed on defense against the Rams last year, then I'm going to say you've wasted a lot of time and resources and money building a defense that ultimately doesn't look any better against the Rams offense than it did when you initially had to blow this sucker up in the first place. And there are no excuses there, okay? I know we have injuries. DJ Reed out sucks. Kerry Hyder out. I mean, it's not trivial. It means something. Jamal Adams, yeah. Teams deal with injuries all the time. That can't be an excuse. Okay, I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of Carroll passive-aggressively trying to say, well, it's not my fault. The players are stupid. I'm sorry. That is pretty much what he goes out there and says in these press conferences. Constantly this season, after losses, he goes out there and says, I'm doing everything right. The players are just dumb. No, I'm tired of that. No more. No more scapegoating. No more blaming other people. Produce. Play well enough on defense to give us a chance to win. And if we don't win, let me blame the offense. Let me say, okay, we gave up less than 400 yards. We gave up less than 27 points. That's a winnable game. And the offense needed to show up. Let me say that. Don't let me come on here later tonight after this game saying 500 yards, 42 points, all that time we spent building this defense to stop the Rams was wasted. Don't let me say that. that's really all I got for this one, guys. I'll make another video later today if we get COVID updates, but right now, that's the best I got. Let's see who we got. Let's see what we can do and try to figure something out because I want to beat the Rams, bottom line. See you guys later. Go Hawks.